If you like absolutely charming things, I predict that you will love Gnomes and More Gnomes. We have it in all of the configurations that we normally do. And let's see, let me get started. I'm going to move some of these just so that we can really get in here and see what's going on. So we're going to start with the 12 by 12 pattern cardstock. And you're going to get a preview of that little guy right there. And yes, he is having some dandelions, and they are blowing, you know, paper wishes. That certainly works well. There are 12 by 12. They are double-sided. You also get 52 cutouts. Now let me show you every single sheet. So here is the first, just a close-up of not only him, but our little guy in the swing. We even have one perched up in the tree, and lots of mushrooms and ferns and just all sorts of things, butterflies in the wind. And they are 12 by 12, as I said. You can see this kind of leaf pattern below. As we always do, these are good for scrapbooking, card making, tags, junk journals, whatever you have. If you happen to be a scrapbooker, you know your photos are going to go in the middle. If you're a card maker, you can divide this into quarters, and you will see that you can create 4 cards out of every 12 by 12 sheet. As I open this, you're going to see the back of it with kind of ghosted mushrooms down at the bottom. These are micro-perfed, which means they are going to separate just like that. And here is the next sheet. So now they're in a hydrangea garden. So that was first in a regular garden. And this is hydrangeas, as you can see, with these jolly little elves. And on the back side, we have some dots and another little hydrangea guy, and some pretty border right there. The next sheet, well, they're going into the desert. So this is, and you can see that, oh, okay, more bubbles are going. That's always perfect. And playing a guitar, resting in the sun, you know, just chilling out, as we would say. And on the back side, we have a denim, and that works really well with our gnomes. And our next gnomes are going to have honey, and look at them. I especially love this guy holding that bee. It's so cute, and he has got the honey dipper, and you can just see what's going on. Just absolutely charming. Again, you can make 4 cards out of this quite easily. Here's the back with just a beautiful array of wildflowers, and there's butterflies in there too. Now the next one is where we start with our cutouts. As you know, these are larger ones. We do have 2 borders right along there, and you can see we've got all of our types of gnomes represented. So our guy in the garden, our hydrangea, our bee, our guy with the desert, all of them. And then on the back side of this is an overall leaf pattern, more of the white background. Then we have, so this is going to micro-perf again, just separate, and you can see all of the cutouts. Most of them have one of our little friends in it, although some are just have the artwork, and you can layer them, you can do so many things. The back side of this looks like this, also a very useful pattern. And on our paper pack, let me turn it over. As always, we will have a scrapbook page and a card. And let me just give you a close-up of that. So here is the card, and you can see that that's the corner of that honey gnome, and there's some solid behind him. This is one of the die cuts that you will see. And this honey has been, I don't know if you can see that it's shiny. Hopefully you can. That was covered with the crystal lacquer, and that's just perfect. This is part of the cutting dice, which I will show you in a minute. And here is our scrapbook page, just our big 12 by 12. We've got some chipboard in here, one of the die cuts. This is the cutout, and more of the chipboard, and more of the die cuts, excuse me, more of the cutting dies. So you can just slit around the mushroom and just tuck those underneath, and they'll just come jumping out as they are likely to do. So there is our scrapbook page, which is great fun. Now to coordinate with our 12 by 12, of course, we have solid colors. There are 12 sheets, and there are 12 colors, and let me show you how we do that. So there's just quite a beautiful array because our gnomes are very, very colorful. So look at all of those. And then as always, on the back side, there is a different shade of the same color. So in this case, a darker green. We've got the gold and a yellow on the back. the blue with a lighter blue on the side, the pink with a softer pink, a lime green, and this has got white on the back, and then we have a purple with a soft yellow on the back. So all of those, I think you're going to find these useful for many times, not only with our gnomes. And then we have our 6x6. Same artwork, just in a smaller format, but this time you're going to get 4 of each one. You're going to get 104 cutouts. Now let me show you these papers. Again, it's the same art that you just saw, and also micro-perfed. The solids were micro-perfed too. So there's the back side. There's our little guys in the hydrangeas, and there's the back side of that. And here they are in the cactus, and the back side of that, that denim backing. Here's with the honey guys, and the back of that is so pretty. And we've got the larger cutouts here with the borders, and there's the back side. And then these are our regular cutouts with the words and the greetings, and then the back side of that. So again, you're going to get 4 of each one. Because this is hot off the press, with the packaging, you're going to get an idea. And here is a close-up of this card. So here is the background. In fact, what was done is this part was slit so you could push in the cutting die mushrooms, and there's gnome one like you with all of the ferns right around, and this little guy is out of the chipboard. So you see everything is just perfectly done, of course, which is what we would expect. Now we also have the die cuts, and the die cuts count 31 as always. And let me just show them to you, because there's 2 different sheets in that package. And these are designed, as always, everything coordinates. So we've got borders, we have greetings, we also have the artwork and words on it, and they're just going to do just a lovely job together. Again, we have some ideas on the back of the package, of course, and let me just show them to you. So here we go. Good friends, no matter what. We've got the little guy, we've got a border, this little guy, and this is on our hydrangea gnome. And here we have another one, and this is on our honey guys. So gnome, sweet gnome, and this is with the cutting dies, and this is the die cut right there. So just absolutely charming. And of course, a touch of dazzles, as you would expect. Now we also have chipboard, and our chipboard is pretty special because as we get in closer, you can see there is detail on them. So there we go. So you can see that, you can see his beard, you can see his hands, you can see the flowers, the dots on the mushrooms, gnome, sweet gnome. And also we have a card on the back. And let me just show you. So here is our little guy, and these are the dewdrops. So they work perfectly as bubbles. The gnome, sweet gnome, there are the mushrooms, the fern, that little basket of flowers just works perfectly with the artwork with the gnomes themselves. Now finally, as always, we have our cutting dies. And these cutting dies number 18 in the package. And what's really interesting about this is that they are designed to be layered. So you can see this big mushroom. Well, there is a cap that's a separate piece that can layer on top. Well, let me give you an example. So here it is, all die cut, and then there's the cap of it that's placed and just foam taped on top. Our little gnomes are wonderfully colored and just work so very, very well. And you can see that his nose and his mustache have been added on. The beard is a separate piece. And you can see this. There's the mushroom, there's the mustache, and the 2 hands for this guy right here. And just, they do a nice job of giving him a little bit of depth. Same thing with this little guy. And there's his beard. And he doesn't have a mustache. And so we also have some ferns, and as you can see, they're just beautiful behind them. We even have a bee and a butterfly. So all of that, and there are 18 pieces. And this is the card that's on the back of the package. So just giving you even more information. So as you can see, we have quite a collection, beginning with our 12 by 12. going to our solid to match, excuse me, our die cuts, our cutting dies, our chipboard, excuse me, and our 6x6. Like I said, I think you're going to find them just absolutely charming. Okay, to recap, we have our 12x12 Gnomes and More Gnomes, and our solids to coordinate and all those beautiful colors. And we have our die cuts, not our cutting dies, but our cutting dies are going to come right now. And how about our chipboard and our 6x6, all of those. And I've already received some information from some of our VIPs who, of course, got some samples earlier. And they're saying that they absolutely love them. And one gal even said, well, she's not really a fan of gnomes, but these are so charming. She just can't resist, and she will be getting more. So speaking of VIPs, if you are a VIP, which means that in the last 12 months, you've bought at least $500 of product, then what happens is that you get 6 sheets of the brand new collection of the 12x12 papers, and that's exactly what they did. So you get an email and a code, which of course isn't here, and you can use that code with your next order, and that's just great. Now, speaking of getting things early, you can get all of this collection early. We do have a subscription, and if you want everything, maybe not the cutting dies, although I'm not sure why you wouldn't want those, but just in case you don't, we have a collection for this. Now, it's called I Want It All. You're going to get 20% off the whole collection, and you're going to get the collection before the webisode airs, so that's really a treat. But say you do want the whole collection, I mean the entire collection, well, then you really want it all, and you will still get the 20% off, and you will still receive them before the webisode. And what's great about that is because all of these have ideas on the back, so you get not only the collection, but you get ideas right at your fingertips. So all of these are available, and where is it? On the right-hand side of your screen. So this is Gnomes and More Gnomes. We hope you're going to love them just as much as we do.